Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is one of those rumors that could really shake up the NFC East and honestly, the entire NFC landscape. Word on the street is that the Washington Commanders are eyeing a blockbuster move, possibly trading for Brian Burns from the New York Giants. Yeah, you heard that right. The Giants, sitting at 2-8 with a cap space around $9 million, are reportedly shopping Burns as part of a total rebuild strategy. And the Commanders, currently sitting at 3-7 but with a fragile defense that's been hit hard by injuries and inconsistent play, are seriously considering this move to add one of the league's most explosive pass rushers. Now I know what you're thinking. Burns in Washington. That's a game changer, especially considering his track record and potential. The Giants are allegedly looking for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft in exchange for Burns, which makes sense given his talent, and the fact they're focusing on clearing cap space and building for the future. The Giants are making some pretty bold moves, giving up Burns, who's been a consistent disruptor, in order to free up around $20 million in cap space to extend Daniel Jones and shore up their O-line, which has been leaking sacks all year. It's clear they're prioritizing their long-term rebuild over competing now, which opens up some interesting opportunities for other teams, especially those looking for a proven edge rusher. The Commanders, on the other hand, are desperate for someone who can consistently generate pressure on the quarterback. They've been struggling to get enough sacks, something that's been holding their defense back all season. Remember, in 2022, Burns racked up 16 sacks, and that kind of production could be a real game-changer for Washington. Adding him would not only improve their pass rush, but also dramatically shift the dynamic of their entire defense. Think about it. If Burns joins the fold, the Commanders could see an increase of upwards of 14 sacks, which would push their total from around 28 to over 40. That's a massive boost, especially considering the importance of the pass rush in today's NFL, where the aerial attack rules. And it's not just about sacks. Burns' presence would elevate the pressure rate significantly. Currently, the Commanders' defense pressures quarterbacks around 28% of the time, but with Burns, that could jump to nearly 49%. That's almost doubling the pressure, forcing quarterbacks to make hurried decisions, leading to more turnovers and mistakes. His ability to generate pressure, combined with his 11 sacks in 2023 and career totals that include 50 sacks and over 300 tackles, makes him a prime candidate to turn Washington's defense into a true nightmare for opposing offenses. Remember, Burns has been recognized with 3 Pro Bowls and has a PFF grade averaging around 88, 4 which is elite. His consistency and impact are undeniable, and he's still just entering his prime. Now let's talk about the fit. Burns' profile is perfect for what Washington needs, an edge rusher who can bend around the edge with speed, rush the passer with power, and get after the quarterback in critical moments. His quickness and bend speed, sitting at around 83%, allow him to get around blockers, collapse the pocket, and create chaos. And with the NFC East being such a pass-heavy division, think about Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, and Daniel Jones. Adding a player like Burns could be the difference-maker in divisional games, especially in tight playoff races. What does this mean for the Commanders' outlook moving forward? If they make this move, they're not just filling a need, they're signaling a shift in their identity. They'd be transforming into a defense that's not just solid but disruptive, capable of forcing turnovers and setting up their offense in advantageous field positions. It's a strategic move that could elevate the entire team's performance, especially in high-pressure moments. Let's not forget the potential playoff implications. Burns, as a playoff X-factor, could be the missing piece that turns Washington into a serious contender. His impact in the 2024 postseason, especially against teams like the Eagles or Cowboys, could be monumental. His previous playoff performance in 2024 against the Eagles, where he recorded 3 sacks, showed just how disruptive he can be when the stakes are high. With Burns, Washington's odds of winning their division and making a deep playoff run could see a significant boost, possibly increasing their chances from around 15% to nearly 40% against division rivals like the Cowboys. But it's not just about adding a star. This move would send a message to the division and the league. Washington is serious about reestablishing itself as a powerhouse. The NFC East has always been a battleground of fierce rivalries. And now, with Burns, the Commanders could finally have that elite pass rusher that has been missing since the days of Chase Young's early dominance. The secondary, already boosted by players like Harris, whose PFF grade is at 82, would benefit immensely, as opposing quarterbacks would have less time to throw, reducing yards per pass attempt from around 7.5 to closer to 6.0. Of course, there are some questions. Will the Giants accept a first-round pick in 2026? That remains to be seen, but given their focus on cap space and rebuilding, it's a plausible scenario. And for Washington, acquiring Burns would mean making a bold statement, showing that they're willing to invest in the trenches and build a defense that can dominate the league's best offenses. It's a gamble, but one that could pay off in a big way, especially if Burns continues to develop and maintains his health. His injury history is minimal, with only one game missed this season. In terms of the overall team strategy, this move fits perfectly with what the Commanders need. They're not just looking for a player to fill a gap. They want a game changer, an edge rusher who can flip the script and make their defense a nightmare for any quarterback. It's about creating chaos, forcing turnovers, and setting up the offense to excel. With a stronger pass rush, the Commanders could see their points allowed per game drop from around 28 to closer to 21, which would be a significant upgrade and a key factor in winning more games down the stretch. The NFL is a league of moments, and in the playoffs, those moments often come down to a game-changing sack or a crucial strip sack that shifts momentum. Burns has shown he can deliver those moments. His presence in Washington could be the catalyst that takes the Commanders from a decent team into serious contenders, especially in a division that's wide open after the Cowboys' recent struggles and the Eagles' injuries. To sum it all up, if the Commanders pull off this trade, it would be one of the most significant moves of the season, one that could define their trajectory for years to come. It's a move that signals they're serious about competing at the highest level, about building a defense that strikes fear into the hearts of opponents, and about setting themselves up for a deep playoff run. Whether it's Burns' ability to generate pressure, his knack for forcing turnovers, or his potential to elevate the entire defense, he could be the piece that finally unlocks Washington's true championship potential. And remember, this is just the beginning. The NFL trade deadline is approaching, and teams are always looking to make those bold moves that can change everything. For the Commanders, bringing in Brian Burns could be that move, the one that propels them into the elite tier of NFL defenses and gets them back on the path to Super Bowl glory. The NFC East is fierce, the competition is tough, but with Burns, Washington could be on the cusp of something special. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think Burns is the perfect fit? Would you trade a first-round pick for him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us, and it's essential for the future of this team. We'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned to catch all the latest Washington Commanders news. This team is on the rise, and with moves like these, the future's looking brighter than ever. Keep supporting, keep believing, and let's get ready for what could be a historic season.